Welcome to my living room setup, where modern tech meets timeless design. This is my home theater and vinyl system that I've carefully put together over time, maybe a bit too much time. But I'm excited to walk through the details with you today. I'm genuinely proud of how this space came out, so let's get into it. This setup is all about bringing together form and function, so that's why every single piece in this space serves a purpose, both visually and practically. The walnut wood, black, white, and metallic tones all come together beautifully. And the dark greens from the plants soften the room, making it feel more earthy and natural, so that way it prevents it from feeling too sterile or cold. One of the first things I added was this lamp with a soft, warm glow and a marble base which ties into my kitchen countertops. If you ask me, I personally think it gives the space a really calming vibe. And also, on the other side, I added this black ladder shelf. It does a good job of balancing out the room. I did consider some other shelves, but this one just fits. It has the perfect mid-century modern design, and the build quality is really damn good. I added a pothos plant on top too, so that way it can slowly grow down the sides, and I think it just brings a lot of life to the space. The shelf isn't just about looks, it's personal. I have a salt lamp, some of my favorite books like The Creative Act from Rick Rubin, and a bunch of other personal items on there. I've got a vintage camera passed down from my family, and even an elk jawbone that I found and cleaned myself. These are all conversation starters, which are great for when people come over and make my space feel more like home. Music is by far one of my favorite kinds of media to appreciate, so I knew the audio system had to be perfect. I've been using the SVS Prime wireless speakers in my desk setup for years now, so when I knew I needed another set of speakers, I had to go with SVS. By the way, if you haven't seen my YouTube video on my desk setup tour yet, I highly recommend you go check it out. I think it came out so well, I haven't even changed it since I dropped that video. So with that being said, when I found out SVS dropped their Prime Wireless Pro speakers, I knew that going with them were gonna be a no-brainer. Their high-fidelity sound and design made them fit perfectly with what I needed. These speakers deliver on all fronts. Whether I'm streaming music, watching movies, or spinning vinyl, the sound quality is freaking unreal. The mids and highs are incredibly detailed, allowing you to hear every nuance in the music, whether it be instrumental or vocals. They do a really good job of filling out the room without ever feeling overwhelming. And you can still hear every single detail, whether you're blasting music or listening quietly. By the way, if you're curious about any of the gear I talked about in this video, I've dropped product links in the description below. Hands down, one of the best features of these speakers is the fact that they don't require a separate receiver. The amps are built right into the speakers and specifically tuned for them. So that means the setup is easier and the sound signature is actually more accurate. That means I don't need another piece of equipment with even more cables to run, which makes a huge difference when I'm trying to make a clean and minimalist setup. They also come with HDMI eARC, which is an absolute game changer for movie night. I don't know about you, but I am sick and tired of juggling for the frickin' volume remote when it comes time to watching movies. With this feature, you don't need to worry about that anymore. All I have to do is select HDMI on my SVS remote. Yes, these speakers come with a remote, which makes it a lot more convenient. And bingo, all I have to use is my TV remote. Play, pause, fast forward, and even volume controls the sound system through HDMI with lossless audio. I'm a fucking nerd, but I don't care. It is a small thing that makes a huge difference and makes movie night just so much more convenient, you know? And then there's the SVS 3000 Micro Subwoofer. This thing fits perfectly under my shelf. Honestly, it's really satisfying. And I was a little afraid that it was gonna be shaking stuff on the shelf given that it is a subwoofer, but honestly, the noise isolation is so good that I have not run into any issues with this. It plugs directly into the back of the Prime Wireless Pro speakers with a single RCA cable, so there's no need for an extra amp. It adds those deep, tight bass notes that honestly fill the room perfectly. And for its size, I was genuinely impressed how much power this thing puts out. I actually had to turn it down a bit just to be respectful of my neighbors, because I do live in an apartment after all. Sorry. Plus, to fine-tune your subwoofer, you can even connect this thing to an app on your phone and get it dialed in, which is super sick. The piano gloss white finish across the entire audio system was a deliberate design choice. It makes everything feel like it comes together cohesively, and it makes the whole system feel just a bit more unified. And at the same time, the white contrasts beautifully with the darker tones of the space, like the walnut wood and black, and it kind of just gives it this bit of pop, which I really appreciate. This balance makes the whole audio system stand out without overpowering the room, making for a clean, polished, and modern look. The titanium gray speaker stands play a huge role in both form and function. They're essential for reducing any unwanted vibrations, especially for the turntable, but they also bring this dynamic, elevated look to the entire system. The titanium gray finish adds this slight contrast and keeps the space from feeling too monochromatic, giving the setup a more premium and sophisticated look. Plus, the built-in cable management keeps everything clean. That's huge for me. My turntable of choice is the Fluence RT85, and of course I got it in piano gloss white, so that way it matches perfectly with the rest of my system. I did a ton of research on this, and it's consistently ranked as one of the best turntables for its price range, one of the reasons being its upgraded cartridge. So it's safe to say for anyone who appreciates vinyl, this turntable is a dream. Also, I paired this with a Project Tubebox S2, so that way I can get that warm analog sound. It's a preamp that boosts the turntable's signal to the right level for the speakers, and it adds that classic tube warmth to the music. I've placed it on a glossy white block to elevate it and kind of balance out the right side of the TV stand, since it's pretty compact and I have a plant on the left side. And honestly, can we just take a moment to appreciate how badass this thing looks? The tubes give it this retro futuristic vibe that just adds to the whole experience. In a world where streaming is just so freaking convenient, it might seem a bit odd to some people to choose vinyl. For me, it's all about intention. You have to physically select the record, put it on the turntable, and engage with the music in a way that streaming just doesn't offer. One of my favorite things in the world is to wake up, put on a record, and make some coffee. And that simple ritual of starting the day with music, especially from a concert where I bought the record, it feels personal. It's like bringing that energy from the concert into your freaking home. And that's something streaming just can't replicate. This Sony OLED TV is actually my first flagship TV, and it's honestly been a game changer. The black levels are insane. The colors are just so vibrant, and it's completely changed how I experience movies. I've been appreciating cinema on a whole new level. And the quality is so good, I don't even feel like I need to go to the movie theater anymore, especially when I can watch in my underwear. Behind the TV, I've set up a couple smart LED lights which do a really good job of making the space look even that much better. But they also serve a purpose too. They do a great job of reducing eye strain, which adds to the comfort level of this entire setup. It almost creates this halo effect which connects the lights from the lamp all the way to the salt lamp on the other side of the wall. And it just creates for this super cool warm glow on the entire side of the room, which is super sick. Oh, I forgot to mention I even threw a smart light on top of the turntable so that way you can see what you're doing and it shows it off in a cool way. To make things easier, I've got different lighting modes set up through Google Smart Home Automations. Movie mode dims everything down and focuses the light on the TV, giving you that perfect theater-like atmosphere. And when I'm listening to vinyl, I switch to music mode where the TV lights turn off and the light focuses on the turntable. It's all about creating the right vibe for whatever I'm doing. So whether I'm immersed in a movie or chilling with a record, the lighting adapts. This setup is more than just a place to watch movies or listen to music. It's a space that inspires me every single day. From the color choices to the functionality, everything was picked with intention. I think it's incredibly important to invest in your space, both in terms of design and function. And I don't mean just financially, though yeah, some nice things help, but more importantly, the investment of time, thought, and care. A setup like this isn't just about having cool tech. It's about creating an environment that fuels creativity and brings joy to your everyday life. When I say I've thought through every single detail, I absolutely mean it. But honestly, it pays off. Some may call it overkill, I call it living. Let's say you're struggling with a bit of motivation or inspiration on where to start. Here's how I would think about this. What are the moments that you want to create? Build a space that embraces those. And before anyone asks, yes, there's a whole other side of this room with a couch and some other stuff, but it's still a bit of work in progress, and I'm actually waiting to show it off for my full apartment tour. So if you like the attention to detail and creativity involved with this setup, just wait till you see how my entire apartment comes together. Be sure you stick around for that. If you want to check out any of the products mentioned in this video, I'll have them linked down in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, or let's just say you get a kick out of watching people spend too much time and money on their setups, I'd appreciate it if you could share with someone that would also appreciate it. Because we can spread the love of overthinking every single detail. It sure is beautiful, isn't it? Peace out.